handling the program today. Today, we are focusing on ICS-related issues. We are going to focus on UKZN email. We are going to focus on UKZN email, how to access Moodle, which is our learning management system. You're going to have to learn to interact with this platform because most of your learning is going to be on this platform. There will be, your lecturers are going to be posting learning material on this platform. Some assessments will be conducted on this platform. In addition to that, we are also going to focus on how to access the timetable, how to create the timetable based on the modules that you're registered for, as well as how to use MS Word, MS Excel, and other ICS-related issues that you have been asking us about the entire week. That is, how do I get data, when will laptops be issued? So we have colleagues from the FYE program, as well as colleagues from our ICS who will be providing all these answers for you. So we will start with Dr. Jerry, who will take us through UKZN emails. And after Dr. Jerry, we will have ICS focusing on Moodle. Over to you, Dr. Jerry.
You are muted, Dr. J.
Oh, thank you very much. This thing always catches me. So guys, I'd like to welcome all of you guys to Thursday's presentation. So today we're going to be looking at our virtual resources that we have in the university, and you're going to be introduced to the different platforms that we have. So please gather all your questions and, be ready to ask as much as you want to ask. There's a very common African adage that says that he who asks does not get lost. So please feel free to, pose all of your questions. So in starting today, I wanted us to look at these different platforms that we have, but also to start from a point of reflection. I wanted us to look at what we discussed on Monday in brief, which was just starting off with the passwords. It's very nice that we have some colleagues here on our platform today, on the presentation today, that come from ICS. So I think they'll be able to give us very pointed guidance and, helping us out wherever we have questions. So please keep those questions reserved. And at the end, we'll have a good question and answer session. So, please pose everything that you want to pose then. So today is Thursday. We started our orientation on Monday and we've been looking at different aspects. And I hope it has been very informative for you guys to introduce you into the university. Like any new environment that you go into, you're going to find a lot of new things. So one of the things is that you should not be afraid to ask. You should also not feel bad to be lost because, part of the journey of learning is confusion, being lost, and so on and so forth. And we're here to actually clarify some of those areas. So today's presentation that I'm going to start with, I'm going to be talking about introducing the virtual platforms. And like I said earlier on, I wanted us to start first from a point of reflection of where we were. So let me just put up my presentation. And in that, I'd like to share my screen. I'm not too sure. So guys, give me a thumbs up if my screen is actually visible to you. Those that can see, please give me a thumbs up. Great. Okay, so we're all on board. So like I said, I would like to welcome you to today's presentation that we're looking at our different virtual resources that exist in the university. When you come through, I've been following the student pages, and you have the senior guys that are in the university, your colleagues, your friends who are teasing, and they're talking about all of these things, trying to confuse you. So today is one of those days where we're going to clear up those issues. Don't seem like you don't know. After today, you should also be experts. So I'm going to start with a quick review of what we discussed on Monday, which was looking at basically the password issues. And here is where there's a lot of confusion around the passwords and questions that we can't answer. Well, I'm so glad that we've got some of our experts that with ICS division. We've got, I can see Chantel is here with us and so on and so forth. So they'll be able to field some of those questions. So guys, keep them rolling. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the idea of the terminology. Sometimes you're going to hear your login password. What is your login password? Sometimes you're going to hear terminologies such as your LAN passwords. Now, I just wanted to clear this up. First things first is that your login password and your LAN password, these are actually the same things. So when you hear them referring to any of those two, they're basically talking about the same things. So the question that first arises is that I'm new in the university. Because I'm new in the university, where is my password? What is my username? Where do I get these things? So like I said, this is a brief review of what we had discussed on Monday for those that might not have been present. So your username by default, as you register, you come into the university. Your username onto the systems, the university systems, is going to be your student number. That's how you are actually identified in the university, by your student number. Even sometimes when you guys, I'd like to also say this, when you send emails or any communication that you have officially within the university, please make sure to add your student number onto that email, onto whatever communication that it is, so that we can easily identify you. So by default, your username is going to be onto the virtual platforms. Your username is going to be your student number, like I've said. So then what is my password? Where do I get my password from? Your default password, the password that you're automatically assigned when you come into the university, is going to start with STU, which is your student number, which will be followed by the @ sign. And then you have the first two numbers is going to be your day of birth. The next two numbers is going to be your month of birth. And then the other four numbers are going to represent your year of birth. Okay. So for instance, if your birthday is on the 16th of June, 2003, like me, my birthday is on the 16th of June. I think we'll keep the year away, you know, just so that I don't identify myself as a fossil or as an ancestor in the university, because I've been here for a few years. So we just leave it, we'll use a fake one of 2003. But I can tell you, you know, definitely that is a false one. So if that is your date of birth, June 16, okay, 2003, then your password is going to be STU, which is your student number, at 16062003. Okay, so that's what you're going to, the other part of your student, your password is going to be. Remembering that the first part, the STU, represents your student number. Okay, so you're going to put your student number and then you're going to say at 16062003 to represent June 16, 2003 as your birthday. Okay, so let's also move on. That some of the other things that you can do is you can also change your password. Okay, so if you have that roommate, you know, who you're living with.
Dr. Jerry?
Yes.
I see Chantel has her hand up.
Chantel?
Good morning, Joseph. My apologies for interrupting.
Sure.
I just want to point out that the STU, it's only the S that's a capital letter, and the TU needs to be a small letter.
Perfect. So I hope you guys have picked that up. So the STU here, where you have STU, the S is capital, and then the TU is going to be your small letters. And we have some of these aspects that we discussed because we have some rules that what your password should look like. So here's some of the things that you actually should keep note of. So like I was saying, is that your passwords, in this particular case, you can also change your password. So supposing you have a roommate and, you know, all of a sudden you suspect that your roommate, you know, has got access to your password, you know, because you wrote exams and your exams didn't go well. And every time your roommate looks at you, they are laughing and they are smiling and you suspect that somehow they have seen your personal information. What can you do? You can also change these details. How do you go about changing these details? So how you can go about changing your password details is you can go and type into your browser password.ukzn.ac.za, okay? keeping in mind that you leave out the www. So you type it in straight as password.ukzn.ac.za. When you type in this address, it's going to take you to an area, a screen, which will require you to enter your email address. And like we said, if your student number is 2501232205 as your student number, then what would your email address be? Your email address is going to be your student number at stu.ukzn.ac.za, okay? So that's what's going to represent your email address. After you enter your email address, you'll be asked to enter your default password, which was the one that we created, the STU at day, month, year, which is your student number, and then your date of birth by day, month, and year. When you enter that, then you'll be prompted to also enter your new password. When you enter your new password, you'll be given an opportunity to actually confirm your password, and voila, you've got your new password that is going there. So what are some of the rules that apply to these passwords? So your passwords definitely should contain you should not contain rather your name or your surname. It should have a minimum of 8 characters. And in that password, you should have capital letters, small letters, and numbers. For instance, your password will look something like this, where you have February, F with a capital letter. The rest of the letters are small, and then you also have numbers containing in your password. Make sure that the length of your password should be a minimum of 8 characters. Okay, so let's move on to other issues. More importantly, questions that come out is, how do I get to my email? What do I do? How do I access my email? So in terms of your emails, your email address that you should use, or rather the address that you should use in your browser, is http:// and then you're going to type in your my.ukzn.ac.za. This is now going to take you to your login screens for your email address, okay? And when you use this address, when it takes you to your login address, it's going to give you actually these details here that you can actually follow in going about your email address. So what do I do when I get to my email, to this login screen, okay? So you enter your student number details in the following format. Remember, your email address is going to be your student number at stu.ukzn.ac.za. That is your email address. When you enter your email address, then it will take you to another pop-up window that would ask you for your login details. And we did actually talk about this in the refresher. We said that your login details are going to be, for instance, your student number. That is going to be your default username. And then you're also going to enter your LAN password, the password that you have. The default one is going to be, like we had already discussed, your default password should look something in the ranges of. Okay, is there somebody who can remind us what our default password is going to be? Is there somebody who can put up what the default password is going to be? Amongst the listeners, guys, is there anybody who can guess what your default password is going to be? So I'll quickly look into the chats. Yes, in the chats, I think so many people have picked it up. It's going to be STU at date of birth, going by 2 Ds, 2 months, and the 4 numbers for your year. Thank you very much, guys, for your input. Wonderful. So then once you do that, you will get access into your emails. You would have logged into your emails, okay? So let's move on to our next item that we're going to be discussing, which is going to be our Moodle platform. And on the Moodle platform, maybe I would like to hand it over to Chantel to take over from the Moodle and give the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. Good morning, colleagues, and good morning, students. Thank you for inviting us to this information sharing session. I'm going to go directly into our Moodle page. So at UKZN, the official learning management system that we use is Moodle, but at UKZN we call it Learn 2024. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen. Okay, so this is the site that you will go to access all your learning material. It is learn2024.ukzn.ac.za. What happens each year is we move from one instance of Moodle to the next. So all students that were here last year would have used the 2023 option. So if, for example, you've gone onto Google and you've typed learn and 2023 or 2022 has come up and you log in there by mistake, you're not going to see any of your work, right? So you need to access the current year for the current content. On the top right of the page is where you would log in. Let me just sign out of this quickly. Apologies for that. I must apologize for that. So on the Learn page, you're going to click on Log In at the top right, and you need to log in here. So your options for logging in, at this point, you're not going to use your full email address, okay? So remember, Joseph covered that when you get a student number, you get an email address and you get your username. So at this point, you're only going to use your username. And you're going to use the password that you set when you initially logged in. So UKZN uses something that's called a single sign-on. What that means is that the initial password that you have set works across all platforms at UKZN. So you will use the same password to log in to your Student Central, to your Moodle, for your parking desk. Basically, everything that you need to log in, you're going to use that one password. Once you've logged in, you'll have a little welcome message, and then you will be able to view all the different colleges as well as our contact details. So the contact details for ICS, our telephone number is 2604000 with the Durban code of 031. We do have ICS walking centers on all campus where you can go with your student card or your ID to request assistance. And then we have a site support that's specifically for Learn. If you scroll lower down, you'll see that you have some courses available here, and I am a student in this course. Another way to access your courses is right at the top. If you click on My Courses, it will also take you to your list of courses. Now, some of you may have already registered and you've gone to this page, you've scrolled down, but you notice that you registered for 4 courses, but you can only view 2. What happens here is you are registered for the course, but on Learn, while your lecturer is busy with the content on the site, they can hide that content, right? So they will make it available to you as soon as they have completed compiling the site, and then they will unhide it and you will be able to see it. So if you see that from your 4 modules, you can only see 1, so there's no need for you to email Learn for assistance. We are aware that students, that staff members do hide the courses while they're working on it. So you'd need to wait until your lectures begin, and then you will be able to view all of that. ICS does not have the rights to make those courses visible, because within the courses as well, you will have that your lecturers have maybe hidden certain topics, right? So the only people that can make these courses available to you is your lecturer. So I'm going to enter into this course. It's one of the courses I've created, so it's called Chantal Sandbox. Once you're in the course, you'll see that there are various activities and resources that are populated on the page. So right at the top, we've got announcements. So how announcements work is when the lecturer sends out an announcement, you will receive an email via your UKZN student email address. So you'll be able to read that announcement, and in that announcement, there will be a link that can bring you back to this page. If, for example, you have not looked at your email in a while, then you click on announcements, and you'll see that your list of announcements will be on here. So the first announcement that I've posted today is the Welcome to UKZN. When you click on it, you'll be able to see what the message is. So your announcements are very important. For example, if you're writing a test on a specific date, your lecturer will give you the date on here. If, for example, the lecture has been moved or the venue has been moved, all your information will be given on here. So it's very important for you to regularly check your Learn page and to go into your announcements for each of your modules and have a look at what information is in there. So bear in mind that each module has their own announcement. So if you are registered for 4 courses, you'll access the 4 different courses on Learn, and each lecturer will send you their own announcements. So in terms of the content that's on the page, you can access it on this left navigation bar. For example, if I wanted to go straight to this video, if I click on Kaltura video, it will take me there. However, if I need to go back to the main page, I can use this breadcrumbs part here and click on General. It will also take me back here. Okay, so if you scroll down, you'll see as I scroll down and go to the different options, on the side it will move as well. So I've gone through with the announcements. The next important thing that I'm going to do is your assignment. So at UKZN, all our assignments are submitted online. So it's not like the way it would be in school where you'd print out your work and hand it in. You'll go into your course page. You will find the assignment that your lecturer needs you to upload. You'll click on assignment. And this is where you'll add your submission. So you'll notice that there is an assignment 1 that's due. It will give you the details of the assignment. So the submission status, I have not made any submission to this assignment as yet. It has obviously not been graded, and the time that I have remaining is 6 days and 13 hours. So I need to submit before the closing date. So sometimes you'll have that you've waited until the date has passed, and when you've come here to add your submission, this button is not available. That's because your lecturer is not allowing any submissions past the due date. In that sense, ICS cannot assist. You would need to contact your lecturer to ask if they can allow you to submit after the due date. But always make sure that you've submitted within the time frame and that you don't need to submit after the due date. So what you're going to do here is you're going to click on Add Submission. And at this point, you'll be able to either drag and drop your file or click on the file picker to choose where your file is saved, right? So you'll click on Upload File in the file picker. Click on Choose File. I'm going to upload one of these. So depending on what is allowed, you could upload a PDF or Word or even online text, but your lecturer will specify what needs to be uploaded. Then you'll click on Open. Once the file has been chosen, you can upload the file. Okay, so now you see that this is here, that it's been added. Now we need to save the changes, right? So when you click on Save Changes, you'll see that your assignment has been submitted. Always give it a meaningful name. So if you've uploaded your assignment and you realize, okay, this name is not what I was supposed to, then you know that you have uploaded the incorrect document. So give it a meaningful name so you can identify that you've submitted the correct item. If, for example, you realize that you've submitted the incorrect one, you can either edit your submission or remove your submission. But remember, you'd have to resubmit before the due date. So now we can see that the assignment was submitted and it was submitted early, and it's now submitted for grading. So your lecturer will now access this assignment and grade it. Once they release the grades, you will be able to view it. In terms of lectures for first years, if you are attending a Zoom lecture, your lecturer can either send you a link via your email for the Zoom session, or you will find your link within Moodle. So Zoom is integrated with Moodle, and you'll be able to join your Zoom meeting from within Moodle. I'm going to use Moodle and Learn 2024 interchangeably because Moodle is what the LMS is called, but at UKZN, we've renamed it to Learn 2024. So you'll see that the start time for this meeting is at 11 on the 8th. So we haven't reached that time as yet, so we cannot join the meeting. Once that time is reached, there'll be a join button here. You'll simply click on join and you'll be able to join the lecture. If, for example, your lecturer wants to upload a video of the online session that they have, the lecturer will then upload it as a Kaltura video. So they won't necessarily call it a Kaltura video, but you will view that there is a video that's available and you can play it and listen to it. If it has a download option, you can also download the video to watch it at a later stage. So basically, this is everything that's covered in Learn, and this is how you would access your courses. So remember, once you've logged in, you click on My Courses, and you will be able to view the courses that are available. So if you notice here, there's a percentage complete. When I initially started the session, it was on 0%. So as I've gone through the various activities and resources, it's marked that I've completed that. So once you've completed all of your work, submitted all of your assignments, been through all the content, you will see here that it will say 100% complete. If you are using LAN machines, remember that you always need to log off from your Moodle or anything that you are using, as well as the PC in the LAN, because you do not want anyone else to access your information or your work. They can basically go in, remove your submission, and do other malicious stuff. In terms of your passwords as well, it is very important that you do not share your passwords because we use a single sign-on. If you're going to share your password with your friend for one of the systems, they now have access to every single system at UKZN, and they can even access your emails, send out malicious emails. So please remember that you do not share your passwords with anyone. Before I end, do you have any questions regarding Learn 2024? To log off, you'll simply click on this drop down and click on log out.
We have a question from Stephen Naidu. I will allow you to talk. Go ahead, Stephen.
Hi, thank you, ma'am. I just want to find out in terms of the Zoom lectures for part-time students, would that be on the same Moodle platform?
Good morning, Stephen. So it's entirely up to the lecturer. So they could send you a link via email or they could add it onto the Moodle site. But it's important for you to access your courses, daily, just to see what's been uploaded on there and what announcements you've received.
Thanks, Chantal. We have another question from Hlumela. Go ahead, Hlumela. Please unmute yourself, Hlumela. Okay, there seems to be a problem. We'll go to Ayandiswa. Unmute Ayandiswa. Go ahead, Ayandiswa. Okay, there seems to be a problem there. Let's go to Jade. Jade Maitri, go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I was told that classes for BBA are online and during the evening. So, where can I find the timetable for this? Because my modules aren't indicated on the UKZN site.
Okay, Dr. Joseph.
Okay, so could I suggest that we take questions at the end? So then we avoid speaking ahead. Maybe let's do the whole presentation and then you can put all the questions down. Is that
Okay, I
okay?
hear you. Jade, there is another presentation on how to set your timetable. It's coming
Yes.
shortly. So that question will be addressed there.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. who else do we have? Sherilyn. Sherilyn. Okay, there seems to be a problem there. Tumela, let's try again. Oh, Sherilyn, we can see you now. Go ahead.
Okay, hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I've been trying to log into my account ever since last week, and it keeps on saying that I have an invalid login, even though I have reset my PIN. And I tried everything. I even emailed several accounts.
Sherilyn, are you trying to log into Moodle or to another UKZN system? Is it Learn 2024?
Yes, on the Learn 2024 site.
Okay, so your username is only your student number. It's not your full email address. Have you done that?
Okay, I've done that. Yes, I've inputted that.
And are you able to log into your email?
No,
Okay, so it
nothing is.
means,
Okay, no, I think I am able to log into my email, but not my Learn 2024
okay,
site.
so send an email to itstudenthelp@ukzn.ac.za and one of the consultants will assist you.
Okay,
Chantal, could
thank
you
you.
please also put it down in the chats, the email address, so that all students can have access to it?
I will do
Thank
that.
you. I think maybe we can proceed.
All right, I think maybe what we can do at this stage, maybe let's call upon Mr. Mdakane to also do his presentation, and then we'll end with Dr. Jerry. Mr. Mdakane? Mike, are you available?
Okay, it's back now.
Okay. Mike, maybe we can address the issues of data and, the issuance of laptops before we proceed to the next presentation. Your mic, your mic is okay. All right, thank you.
Please also switch on your
Okay.
video mic. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Mike has just had an emergency, so he has asked that I just maybe continue to give an update where it comes to data and the NSFAS. Oh, I see he's unmuted. Mike, are you here? Hazel, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can hear
Please
you,
go ahead.
Okay.
So please
All
go
right.
ahead, Liz.
Okay, no problem. So when it comes to, I'll start with the issues that are data related. So I'm unable to start my video. I have a problem with the laptop that I'm using. I've had to be called in to this meeting this morning. So I'm sorry for that. I'm not able to start my video. But my name is Mpume Kumalo. I'm from ICS, and I'd just like to give an update to you students. Welcome to UKZN. We hope that you're going to have a fruitful, amazing year. The email address, let me just see if I can share this window with the addresses. Okay, I've just shared the one slide with the important information that students are to note. Let's just move this thing here. All right. So the email address that students need to email when they have got their data queries is data@ukzn.ac.za. With the subject line of roughly what the issue is about. It could be that you wanted to inform the data team about a sudden change of your number, or you want to ask about porting, what happens if you port your number from one network to the other. So the subject line is helpful to give just an indication of what it is about. So remember to put a subject line, and even as the previous speakers have elaborated to say, it is very important that when you're sending an email, your details of who you are in terms of the student number are very important within the email, because then it helps us accomplish a lot without us having to respond back to you to ask who are you. But when it comes to data, because it is something that you get for your academics, and as the year goes by, we recommend that emails that are sent to us are emailed from the business account, which is your student number. So because sometimes we need to divulge like private information. So if you're sending us an email from your Gmail or from your private work, maybe you work for SARS, so you send us an email from SARS, we're not able to fully respond because we do not know that we are talking to the actual owner of the email, who we have a right to tell the information that you're inquiring about. So we do encourage students to email using their student numbers or student email address when they send the information to data. So the important things are highlighted there on the screen. It should be your student number within the body of the email. It's a student number, the cell phone number to which you are querying, so that if you can't say, didn't get data, but we don't even know which number to check or which network to find out, from if there were queries. So it will be your student number, your cell phone number, and the service provider, as per example, and the nature of your query, like on the bottom. So if you can just follow the standard format when you email. And so the notices or emails are sent before every allocation, because we do understand that things change and students may want to change their numbers due to various reasons. So the site that students will access to change the numbers to which they want data allocated is displayed below. It's https://locateme.ukzn.ac.za. It is, however, not working at the moment because resources have been allocated to assist students to register fully. So some sites have been brought down. So because you are first-time students, some you've activated your email and some you not. We are taking your emails and responding, even though you are emailing using your private accounts. So we are able to answer those. But once you fully registered and the semester resumes, you will be expected to email using your student email address. Students that are eligible to receive data are those that are fully registered, no matter which year you are doing, excluding the students who are residing in UKZN residences, because there's Wi-Fi in those residences for students who reside in residences. So if you stay in a university residence with UKZN Wi-Fi enabled in it, you are not going to receive data. Yeah, that is it when it comes to data. Oh, another important thing, by default, the numbers that we give allocate data to are the ones that are uploaded on this Locate Me. It's the first place where we check. So if there's no Only if there is no record on Locate Me do we look on the second option, which would be your Student Central. So if we fail to get a number on Locate Me, say you have not logged on and you didn't upload anything there, the backup number that the system would look for is the one that you would have used when you were applying to study at UKZN. So that is how it goes. But for as long as on Locate Me there is a number, we will take that irrespective of whether it's using or it's working, you are using it or not. So it's important that once you have a relationship with putting your stuff via Locate Me portal, you ensure that if the phone is lost, the phone is changed at any point in time, you log on immediately and you change that number. Any questions? I do not see the chat.
Yes, Pume, there is a question. Anonymous is asking, when are we going to receive data?
Okay, so because like I've mentioned in terms of the Locate Me, that all students are going to receive data for this first instance, irrespective of whether you're at residence or not, because others may have not, got to Durban as yet. So the data is set to be allocated on the 12th, which is a Monday, 12th of February, 2024.
All right. There is another one. I'm not sure if I'm sure you'll be able to respond. Many students, even yesterday, were asking about specifications for laptops. So I'm assuming these are people who are not getting the NSFAS laptop. So they would like to know what is the standard spec that they should get for their laptop as commerce and law students?
Commerce and law, I'm not sure in terms of what are they required to. Chantal, is that you?
Good morning, colleagues.
Okay, there's mine.
It depends on what they need it for. But I believe that from someone from humanity.
I think may have we lost you. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, there's no specification per se. It will all depend if the student want to buy the expensive one, obviously that it must have a good memory and bigger hard drive, except those who are in engineering or computer science, because those ones need a good hardware.
All right. The other question is about Global Protect. They want to know if it's needed in order to access UKZN services while off campus. Does one have to always have Global Protect or not?
Global Protect, it creates a layer of security. It allows you to come directly to the university because of the previous abuse from the student. When you connect using the Global Protect, it will not allow you to access internet. You can only access internet. So typical example is you are on LAN and you want to access a video clip that is on Kaltura. You're not going to see that video. But yes, to use programs like SPSS, you must connect to Global Protect.
All right, thank you. Kenan Pata wants to know if one has to be fully registered to access LAN 24. Maybe Chantal can assist, or you, Mike. Does one have to be fully registered in order to access LAN 24?
Chantal? Okay, it looked like, yes, you must be fully registered to access LAN 24.
Okay, I think this one is for the teaching and learning team. Tato would like to know if students can collect student cards and move into campus residence over the weekend, or is this only done during office hours?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Or this one I think is for the teaching and learning team. Tato would like to know if students can collect student cards and move into campus residence over the weekend, or this can only be done during office hours.
Collecting of a student card can only be done during office hours. Then once you fully registered, like you have got the rest, you registered for residence, then you can move anytime to the residence.
So that means, Tato, you have today and tomorrow to sort out your student card, and I'm assuming that you are registered. And then obviously you can then move into res over the weekend. But try and get to campus today or tomorrow latest. Let me see if we have questions. Okay, let's take Zama Tusi live. Zama, please switch on your mic. Zama Tusi. Okay, let's try Asanda.
Hello.
Yes, Asanda, go ahead.
I wanted to ask for I think it's the student technology program for the NSFAS students that get laptop. How does it work?
Okay. Where do I start? I'll try and summarize it. Once you receive the laptop, then there is a certain amount that is allocated to you for assistive devices. So unfortunately, because of that war between Hamas and Israel, the delivery date has moved towards the end of this month. So it means the laptop will arrive in South Africa towards the end of February. And then it will be shipped to Joburg, then from Joburg back to Durban and PNB. So just expect a little delays in issuing the laptops. And student funding give us a list of all students who are eligible to receive a laptop. And the SMS will be sent to those students. And then they will also tell you where to collect your laptop, which campus, and when. I hope I answered your question.
Just to add, Mark, I think also students who don't have laptops can come to campus and use our LAN because there are computers there if they have maybe an assignment to complete. Am I right?
Yes, that's true. And all our LANs are open 24/7.
Okay, so it doesn't mean, student, if you have not been allocated a laptop yet due to the delays, that you won't be able to do your work. So there's no excuse for not submitting your assignments. The computer lanes are open on all our campuses, and as Mike said, 24 hours.
And all our LANs are open to, even if you are a PMP student, if you stay next to other campus, you can go there. And it's exactly the same setup.
Okay, so make sure you have your student card at all times if you want to access UKZN services. All right, let's take a question from Shival. Go ahead, Shival. Shival, unmute. Okay, we're struggling to connect with Shival. Let's take Huzaifa. Huzaifa, please unmute.
Hello.
Go ahead.
I reset my password, but I can't remember what it is. So is there any way of like retrieving it or no?
Okay, in order for you to get help, you need to go to that. This is a chat bot. It's a live chat. And then the guys will ask you a security question there, then they will assist you to change it. In most UKZN web pages, it's at the bottom right-hand corner. And then guys on that page will assist you.
Okay, thank you.
Let's take Karendwe. Go ahead, Karendwe.
Yes, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Well, I want to get clarification on whether all NSFAS students will get the laptop or not, or will NSFAS choose particular people to get the laptop, or will each and every one of us who's using the NSFAS get the laptops?
NSFAS laptop is a once-off allocation. If previously you were allocated the laptops, you'll never get it. But if it's your first time receiving NSFAS or you never collected the laptop, you'll receive it.
Even though you have a laptop?
Come again?
Even though you have a laptop?
We don't know whether you have a laptop or not. Unless you tell us that you don't want the laptop, then it's fine.
All right, no problem.
All right. Stephen Naidu, to the teaching and learning team, is saying that he has not been assigned to a mentor. I remember, Prof. Anna, you said that you get 2 batches of registrations early in the week and late in the week. So Stephen is a bit concerned that he has not been allocated or assigned to a mentor.
Okay, to answer that, we got this for this week, we got the list yesterday, and I received the allocation from the FYE coordinators around 4 yesterday. So I'm assuming that the mentors should be in the process of communicating with their mentees. Yeah.
I have a question on behalf of the students. Do mentors communicate with students over the weekend, or is it during office hours only?
So ideally, mentors communicate with students during working hours, that is Monday to Friday. And one of the challenges that we are also having right now is that some of the contact details that we have in the file are incorrect, because some of the students, we have their personal email addresses which are incorrect, or the cell numbers are incorrect. And some of them, we are sending emails to their student email addresses. So if they haven't read the emails, then they won't know that they've been allocated a mentor. If, for instance, the contact number that we have is incorrect, then there won't be contact there. So those are some of the challenges that we are experiencing, where there are errors in the file that we have, or students have not read their student email. So we are sending emails to the student emails, as well as using the cell numbers that we have in the file.
Thanks, Prof. A. Let's take Bayanda. Bayanda, go ahead.
Hello, greetings.
Yes, Bayanda.
I'm having trouble with my student email. I have previously logged in at the Moodle help, but when I try to access the Learn site and try to log in, it says invalid login. I tried to say I forgot my password and try to reset it, but it says the user ID or password is incorrect.
Usually the default password is not going to give you access to any application. So you need, firstly, you need to change your password to a password of your choice. But if you've got issues with your password, again, you can go to that MCZ chatbot and they will assist you there.
On WhatsApp?
Don't choose the WhatsApp. Or you can, even on WhatsApp, you can just select that option that you want to talk to a person.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Tash Pillay wants someone to please explain how to access her email because she joined late. So to address that, Tashe, we are going to display this on our college websites, this video, so that you can then go through what you missed out on earlier. So don't stress too much about that. You will be able to view whatever that you missed. Okay. Then we have Karen or Shival. Shival, you can go ahead. Okay, and this why your mic is on, you can proceed. Okay, and this ran away. Karen, do you still have another question?
No, I don't.
Okay, let me mute. Okay, Shival, we are unable to take you. Let's see, we have Savania.
Hi,
Hello, go ahead.
I'm going to register late during the weekend because I'm a transfer student and some of the exemptions from my previous degree are still being worked on by the law faculty. Is it going to be a problem for me to enter campus on Monday for lectures? And my second question is, do you need a parking permit before Monday? Will you be allowed to park without a permit on Monday?
Colleagues, please help.
Okay, maybe let me take the first part of the question. It's campus rules that you have to be a fully registered student for you to access the university premises. So unless you're fully registered, you will not be allowed onto campus.
All right.
Yes, this also goes to the students that are asking about getting a student card also. Same thing, you need to first be fully registered before you can actually go and access your student card, because one of the things that you'll be required to produce is your proof of registration. Then your student card will be generated for you.
Okay. So can you walk into campus with your proof of registration and your ID and then do your student card?
Absolutely. If you've got proof of registration, you'll have access to the university's premises.
Okay. All right.
I'm happy to see that some students have managed to access their email addresses. So
Right.
I'm very happy to see that it's working. So Dr. Joseph, I think students will get it as over the next few hours. But if you are stuck, please do consult CZ, the chatbot. As Mike explained earlier, you will find it on the UKZN homepage. It just flashes there. You cannot miss it. It's always there up front. All right, maybe let us go proceed with the program.
Sorry, but before I go, I'd like to tell all our students that in the next coming days, we'll activate MFA for all registered students. So it means the student will give them information how to do it, but should they fail, then the IT staff will assist them to activate MFA.
What is MFA, Mike?
It's a multi-factor authentication so that no one will hack their accounts. And students, they need to remember that they need to make sure that their password is safe all the times. We won't even give it to your parents if they ask your password. And yes, and ICS will never send a link to the student to say you need to update your details and everything. So please don't don't give away your credentials. Okay, colleagues, thank you. I think I have to leave now. Bye.
Dr. Anna, Prof. Anna.
Yes, okay, thank you, colleagues from ICS for making time to come and answer some of the questions that students had. We really appreciate your support. I think now we can move on to the next part of the presentation, Dr. Jerry. And students, there are emails, contact details that have been shared. So if you still have questions, please follow up using those contact details. They will be able to give you the correct answers. We do not want to answer some of the questions related to other departments, lest we give you incorrect answers. So please follow up with those, responsible for that in the email addresses or office numbers that you've been given. Dr. Jerry, over to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I hope we are all seeing the presentation here. So at this point, this is why I'd said let's hold on to some of the questions, regarding the timetable so that we can have the presentation and then we can address whatever other questions exist there. But I think before we just go there, I just wanted to make some clarification. Okay, so before we go there, I just wanted to make some clarification for students so that you follow. So some of the very common platforms that you're going to hear about as you come onto the university, you join the university, is you're going to hear about the terms Moodle, or you're going to hear about the terms Learn. Moodle and Learn, it's the same thing, okay? Then you're also going to hear about another terminology, another word called Zoom, and then you're also going to hear another word terminology called Microsoft Teams, okay? So to provide some clarity on these ones is that your Microsoft Teams, your Zoom, okay? These are your virtual, let me put it, classrooms, okay? So you'll find that there'll be some times in the semester where your lecturer is saying, we are going to have a Zoom session. Basically, what your lecturer is saying, we are going to meet online. So you need to log into Zoom. Sometimes they will say something like, we're going to have, an MS Teams session. So what happens on Zoom, what happens on MS Teams is basically the same thing. You're going to have your virtual learning that's going to take place on those platforms, okay? When you hear about Learn or when you hear about Moodle, basically what your lecturer is talking about is that he or she have put up resources onto these platforms that you can access. So when you come in here new, you're going to have questions. Where do I get these materials from? Okay. Where do I access the recommended textbooks? What are the recommended textbooks? You have your lecturer will say, go and check on your Moodle. Okay, go and check on Learn, or it's there on Learn. Basically, they're telling you that they've put up some text document that is actually talking to that. Which also brings me to the point, guys, when you log on to your Zoom, please, when you log on to your Moodle, please make sure that you go through all of the resources so you familiarize yourself with these resources. We put these resources onto these Learn platforms so that you can actually access them. A lot of students tend to actually go on to Learn and want to jump straight to what they're interested in and actually don't even have interest in checking what's actually going on these platforms. So please be familiar with this. When you hear Zoom, when you hear MS Teams, they're basically talking about some form of video lectures that are taking place, some virtual lectures that are taking place. It can be video or it can just be your voice kind of interactions. And then when you hear about Learn, then you should know your lecturer is talking about some resources that they've put there, some Word documents, some text documents that you can access. Also, what you will do on Learn, or what is also referred to as Moodle, is you're also going to be able to sometimes submit some of your assignments. So you have your lecturers telling you that you submit it on your Learn. Basically, they're saying you go and you upload your document onto Learn and your lecturer is going to be able to access it from there, okay? So make sure you're familiar with these terminologies, make sure you're familiar with these places, especially your Learn. Now that you are starting your semester, I would urge all of you as soon as possible, get on to Learn and see what classes are actually active there. Sometimes, Chantel did touch on this point, briefly, sometimes you go on to learn and you're registered for 5 modules, but you are registered for 5 modules and you go on to learn and you find there are only 3 modules that are appearing. That does not mean that you are not registered. No. All that means is that that particular class has not been made active to you as students to actually be able to view. Okay. So all you need to do, if you cannot see your class on Zoom, I mean on your Learn platform, you cannot see a particular module that is supposed to be there, then all you do is when the class starts, go to your lecturer and say, oh, please, sir, I don't have access or I can't view this class. Then they'll be able to add you, or they'll tell you that the class is still in development and very soon you'll be able to access it. Okay, so having cleared that up, I wanted us to now look at this issue of the timetable. This should answer questions such as, so Monday is coming up, where do I go? Okay, how do I know where I'm supposed to go to? Who gives me the timetable? Where do I get the timetable from? So firstly, 9 out of 10, you will not be given a timetable at all, because remember, you're doing separate modules that may exist in different schools. Okay, so what you need to do is that it's your responsibility to synergize, to bring together all of these modules into a timetable that is specific to you. So you will find that at first year level, not all the time, timetables, not all the time will look the same. Despite you being first years, you know, your timetables might not necessarily look the same based on certain preferences. And some of the terminologies or some of the aspects that you come across that create these differences is the idea of blocks, or what we refer to as streams. So I'll talk to this quite soon. Now, to start this conversation around your timetabling, we're going to need 2 specific tools that we're going to work with. We're going to work with the college handbook and we're going to work with a blank timetable, okay? In the presentation, it should have been on Monday, your orientation on Monday or Tuesday, but I think it was Monday. You had some brief overview of the college handbook. Okay. Now, the college handbook is what I refer to as your constitution when you're in the university. All of the rules that apply to you, your degree, come from the college handbook. Okay. And because this is where all the rules that apply to you, all of the scenarios that apply to you in your degree, you as a student need to be familiar with this college handbook. The handbook is not a staff document, but it's rather a document for you as a student. That's how we communicate with you. Sometimes you get cases where a student might have registered for wrong modules at the end of their degree, and they're complaining and saying, no, but nobody told me. Yes, it's because as a student, it's your responsibility to go through the college handbook, look at your degree structure and be able to check, am I moving in the right direction? So guys, please make sure at the beginning, when you're in first year, get used to working with the college handbook, and it will save you a whole lot of, you know, unnecessary mistakes that take place. So let's go through a practical demonstration of this conversation. I hope my screen, my desktop is visible. Guys, could you see, can you see my desktop? If you can, please, can I get a thumbs up? Great. Okay, this is my desktop. I hope there are no exams that are open here. At least I'm going to give you Mbuzi when it is not supposed to be. Nobody can see an exam here that is open. Good. No one can see a test that is open. Right. So let's get into the cracks of the matter. We said we need 2 tools. The first thing that we're going to work with is our college handbook. Where do I access this college handbook? Okay. So we activate a web browser, and in the web browser, we go onto the UKZN page. So on our official page, you notice if you scroll down. Now, guys, I tend to speak a little bit fast, I've noticed. I've had this comment. Sometimes students will say, please, Dr. Jerry, slow down. If you feel I'm speaking fast, please feel free to say, hey, you know, slow down. I'm getting lost here. Please, so just raise your hand or something. Scream, shout, do something. Lift your leg. Show us that, you know, you're actually following. Okay, so when we scroll down on the main university page, you can see here we have one of the resources that we have is our college handbook. I would just like to divert a little bit. Earlier on, you had heard, go onto the chat board and put up your query. If you've noticed, what happens is when I open the website, the university website, we have our chat board that appears on the right-hand side of my screen. And this is the chat board the colleagues earlier on was referring to, where you can actually post your queries here. And we've got you can have your live chats taking place there. So let's scroll down here. And when we scroll down on the announcements, one of the things that we can see as a resource is our handbooks. When I go into that, we can see there are handbooks for the College of Health Sciences, and there's a handbook of College of Law and Management Studies. There's our handbook there. And from here is where I can download our handbook. We can see College of Law and Management Studies 2024. So assuming I'm here, I'm going to download the college handbook, okay? The next resource that I need is the timetable. So I'm going to get myself a blank timetable document. Your document will look something like this, okay? So here's a blank timetable document that the entire university community actually uses. So one of the terms that you're going to hear now that you've joined the university, you're going to hear the conversation or terminologies such as the lecture is going to be in period 5. As you can see on the timetable here, we've got period 1. These are your official learning hours within the university. So we have got period 1 all the way up to period 10. And period 10 is your 16 to 16:45. Each of these sessions are 45 minutes in length, okay? So if you've got a double period, it means you're going to have 2 45-minute sessions, okay? Now, what you'll notice also is when you look at, for instance, period 1 starts at 7:45 and it goes to 8:30. And then period 2 starts at 8:40 and it goes to 9:25. In between these two periods, each one of them has got 10 minutes, which allows you to move from one venue to another. So guys, don't stroll, please, put up that brisk walk and rush into your next venue, okay? So this is not the time to socialize. This is immediately from one lecture to another. No walking slow. Make sure that you wake up early, have your breakfast, or whatever it is that actually gives you energy, okay? So this is your basic timetable and what your timetable is actually going to look like. Like I said, you've got 10 minutes to move from one venue to another venue in this particular case. So this is the second tool that we're going to work with. Let me just minimize that. So let's go into our college handbook that I had downloaded earlier on. And in my slides, I had indicated that on page, if we look at our slides, on page 62. So I picked page 62 for our demonstration. So when you look at the college handbook, it's got a whole lot of information. I think information that you need to know is, for instance, the rules that apply to the bachelor's degree. So things like that, please make sure you are familiar with. So I'm just going to quickly scroll down to page 63. Okay. 63. Okay, so we start at page 62 actually. So at page 62, we have got the Bachelor of Commerce structure, okay? And here in our college handbook, it tells us everything that we need to know with regards to our Bachelor of Commerce, okay? For instance, your criteria, you need to have a minimum of 30 points and so on and so forth, okay? And then when we scroll a little bit further here, we can see the curriculum for the Bachelor of Commerce. Guys, please be very familiar with the curriculum in which you are studying, okay? So your curriculum basically is telling you about all the modules that you need to do for you to actually graduate with that particular qualification. As you can see, we've got level 1 modules, we've got level 2 modules, and we have our level 3 modules. And at the end of all of these 3 levels, you should accumulate a total of 416 credit points. Should your credit points be less than 416, you are not going to graduate. It actually means that there's something that you have missed within your curriculum. So guys, make sure that you go through your curriculum every year, every semester, you tick off what you have done, Okay, so our interest today for the demonstration of the timetable is we're going to look at our level 1, which is our entry level, our first year. Now, when we look at the curriculum, it shows us very clearly that we have got our level 1 is divided into semester 1 and semester 2. Semester 1, these are the modules that you are required to do in your BCom General, okay? So you need to do Accounting 101, you need to do Principles of Economics, you need to do ISTN for Business, you need to do Management 120, and then you also need to do your Math 134, okay? So there's questions, what do I know, the modules that I need to register for, and so on and so forth. You don't need to ask. And I actually should tell you that please avoid asking fellow students. Rather, get the college handbook and read it for yourself and follow the rules as it is. Otherwise, students can actually, you run a chance of being misled by a fellow student, and you might end up with a problem of having registered for the wrong courses or insufficient courses. So we can see here what you need to take for semester 1 and what you need to take for semester 2. So let's look at our interest is semester 1. So we want to create a timetable for our semester 1. Now in semester 1, we can see we need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules, okay? So all of you here need to make sure that you're actually registered for 5 modules. So we start with, when we look at, for instance, Accounting 101, okay? So now we know what we need to register for. Let's go back to our browser. On our browser this time, let's type in timetable.ukzn.ac.za. Okay, so I go here a lot, so it will actually show even before I finish. So the address that you should follow is timetable.ukzn.ac.za. Okay, timetable.ukzn.ac.za. When we go into timetable.ukzn.ac.za, this is our introductory screen. So remember, here we've got the different timetables that exist throughout the entire university. Okay, you can get, for instance, your exam timetable. So again, you shouldn't have to ask your friend, your best friend, your roommate and say, oh guy, when is the exam? What time is the exam? And if your best friend is trying to sabotage you, he'll tell you, no, don't worry, you can sleep. The exam is going to be next week, when in actual fact, the exam is being written that same day. Then you come quickly to the college, to our different offices saying, oh no, my roommate sabotaged me. I didn't know when the exam is going to be. We'll just tell you, unfortunately, that is your responsibility. You need to know when you're writing. It's actually another comment I would like to raise. Chantel, when she was talking about Moodle and submitting assignments, personally, as an academic, when I give a deadline, it is the deadline. So sending me an email telling me, oh, Dr. Jerry, sorry, can you go back and open Moodle again? I would like to submit the assignment. I will flatly refuse. So please, guys, make sure you work within your deadlines and don't have an attitude of thinking that the academic is going to open for you so that you can submit again because you decided to attend to other issues, okay? So make sure you stick to the deadlines, make sure you stick to the rules. So let's now move on here to the area that we're more interested today is our campus lecture timetable. So for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to use the Pietermaritzburg campus, which I'm on, but otherwise the procedure applies exactly the same with all the other campuses. So when I hover over campus lecture timetables, under Pietermaritzburg campus, I'm going to see a number of different tabs where we have general information, semester 1 modules, semester 2 modules, campus tests, the LAN venue, the LANs and the venues, and so on and so forth. Our interest, remember, we're creating a timetable for semester 1. So we're going to go on to semester 1 and select that. When we select that, it's going to take us to the famous timetable finder. So let's give it a second. Okay, so we go into semester 1, and now here, the first part is going to show you what we refer to as your sessional dates. Very important dates for you to be able to note. Please put these dates down into your calendar, okay? So make sure you know that, obviously, as you can see, Monday, the 12th of February, what happens is that your first day of the semester starts, okay? And then For instance, your 21st March is a holiday that even the university recognizes as a public holiday. And your mid-semester break is going to be on the 29th to the 6th of April, okay? So this is your break. And then something that you'll be introduced to the university that even I am still, trying to adjust. I've never adjusted to this concept, although it's something that we need to actually do, is that we have certain dates that, for instance, the 15th of April, it's a Monday. But that particular day, that Monday, you're going to follow a Thursday timetable, okay? When you look at Tuesday, the 23rd of April, it's going to be a Tuesday, but on this day, we are supposed to follow a Friday timetable. So it can get a little bit confusing, but the whole point of this is not to confuse is to make sure that, remember, within a semester, we have got a number of weeks, and the university tries to balance out all of the days equally. So because of public holidays and all of these things, you'll find that there are certain days that you're not going to study. So there are going to be more of particular days than the others. So you might find there are more Mondays than Tuesdays or than Wednesdays. So the university now tries to balance it out and say, okay, on Tuesday, rather follow the Friday timetable so that you can have a balanced out schedule. Okay, so these are some of the interesting aspects that you're going to come across. Please make sure you make note of these. Otherwise, sometimes it can be a bit confusing. When we follow down on this page, we are going to see here we have the first option says semester 1, okay? So the timetable for semester 1, which is in our commerce, and we are first years, we are not looking at honors, okay? Here, we are going to now click on the view here, and it take us into our timetable finder. In Timetable Finder, we go on the top left corner here where there's Timetable Finder. We click on that, and in Timetable Finder, we are going to find all of the modules that are taught on the Pietermaritzburg campus in the first semester, okay? So now here we have a list of all of the modules. Obviously, we are not doing all of these modules. Our responsibility now is to look for modules that are relevant to us. And this is where now your college handbook now kicks in. So let's go back to the college handbook. Can we see the college handbook, guys? A thumbs up if we can see the college handbook. Is it visible? Oh, great. Thank you so much. Okay, so now that we can see our college handbook, we go back and we say, okay, semester 1, what is our module of interest? We go one module by module. So we start with our Accounting 101. This is the course code, and this is the description, okay? So let's go back into Timetable Finder and look for Accounting 101. So Accounting 101, to make it easy, I just click on A there and I go down and I see Accounting 101 here. Accounting 101, okay? Now, at this point is where you're going to come across the concept of blocks, okay? Now, when you're registering, this is the part where a lot of questions were asked to say, what are these letters and so on and so forth. So let me explain this a little bit. So why do we have these blocks? If you look at your first year registrations right now, all of you within the within the college, our College of Law and Management Studies, you'll find that, for instance, maybe on the Pietermaritzburg campus, we'll have 600 first years. On the Westview campus, because it's a bigger campus, we can have 700-800 first years. So the question is, how do we fit all 800 first years, because everybody is doing accounting, into one particular venue? Obviously, that is not a feasible idea. So what happens then? That class of 600 students is then divided into groups, or what is referred to as blocks, okay? So when we have these 600, we divide them not into blocks, but we divide them into streams, okay? So you have got multiple streams, okay? So when we have 600 students, we will say, oh, look, our venues can sit 200 students. So which means we are going to have 3 streams. At each particular time, we can only take 200 students, 200 students, 200 students. All of these 3 streams need to be taught Accounting 101, okay? But we can only teach them in groups. And that's why we're going to have what is referred to as streams. Therefore, what you need to do is only stick in one stream. Because if you change between, for instance, if you change from R1 to R2 to R3, what you'll find is that some of the lectures are repeating. Yes, it's because you're supposed to be in one stream where you're going to be taught A up to Z. Again, in another stream taught A up to Z. The content is exactly the same. The lecturers are exactly the same. We repeat exactly the same information. So please make sure that you stick in one particular stream. So that's why you see R1, R2, R3. Those are actually representing streams and not blocks, streams, okay? So for instance, if I just take you down, this is not one of your modules, but I just want to show you, here we've got ACLE. Look at that, ACLE 101, ACLE 101, ACLE 101, ACLE 101, okay? And we can see R1, R2, R3, R4, meaning this is one class actually, but all these students cannot be fitted into the class at the same time. So this class, because it's huge, let's break it up into streams. And that's why we have got these 4 different streams. These 4 different streams are learning exactly the same content. It is just repeated. So if on Monday you attended R1, and then R2 is taught on Tuesday, and R3 is taught on Wednesday, and R4 is lectured on Thursday. If you attend R1, R2, R3, R4, that whole week, you'll find that you are attending the same class. It's the same class repeating, okay? So please make sure that when you choose a stream, you stick within that stream. Otherwise, you end up confusing yourself. You end up missing out on relevant information. So let's go back to our module of interest. Our module of interest was Accounting 101. If we look here in Timetable Finder, Accounting 101 only happens once. There's no other stream, meaning that this is only one class, okay? So when we go here, Accounting 101, we go into the PDF version there. Accounting 101 opens up, okay? Now this is your timetable for Accounting 101 only. When we go into the timetable, we notice here we've got Monday, we've got Tuesday, we've got Wednesday, we've got Thursday, and we have got Friday, okay? So in, this is where now, I'm a little bit colorblind. Is this red? Is this pink? Is this purple? Is this blue? But let's call it for the sake of making me feel like I'm always correct, we are going to call it red. Okay, so let's look at the red rectangles here. Triangles, rectangle, rectangle, 4. Okay, if we look here, we can see that there are 2 of them. One is happening between your 2 to 5 minutes past 3. Another one is happening between your 4 o'clock to 4:45, okay? These are tutorials. So in red, that represents your tutorials, okay? Now, you are having here, it's showing you that you are having 2 tutorials. In a week, what you should actually be attending is only 1 tutorial, okay? Now, in this particular case, for your accounting, because you only have 1 stream, this tutorial looks like it's going to be a double tutorial that starts at 2 o'clock and it ends at 4 o'clock. Okay, it shows you very well when you read here, it tells you that this is a tutorial. Okay, the module is Accounting 101. Okay, it also tells you now very important information. Dr. Jerry, where do I go for my tutorial that is going to be on Monday? And when you ask me that question, I'll tell you, I don't know. You should be looking at your timetable, and your timetable should tell you. And when you look at your timetable, it tells you on Monday you have a tutorial, okay? And this tutorial is going to be Accounting 101, and it's going to also be in room C 10. It actually gives you the venues, okay? So please make sure that you actually look at this information properly and to be very clear where the tutorial is actually going to be. All right. So you know that you have a tutorial on Monday. Okay. Now this tutorial, so this tutorial, you can only attend one particular block of the tutorials. Okay. So which means you have one tutorial that starts at 2:10, it ends at 5 minutes past 3. Another tutorial starts at 4 o'clock and it ends at 4:45. Okay. So you don't attend both of them, rather you only attend one. Okay, so just make sure that you attend only in one block, because if you attend this tutorial that starts at 10 past 2, and you also attend this tutorial that starts at 4 o'clock, you'll find that it's the same tutorial is actually being repeated. Okay, usually your tutorial classes are actually smaller. So this actually represents 2 tutorials. So you pick one. So let's assume we pick the tutorial that is at 10 past 2 on Monday. Okay, so we go into our blank timetable. Okay, Monday, 10 past 2. Here we are going to say accounting 101 tutorial. TAT. Okay, so we know what's going to take place there. Then we go back down and we look and we say, okay, on Tuesday, when is the lecture? On Tuesday at 12:20, we're going to have our lecture, okay? It shows you very clearly here in black, that represents lectures. In one box, it represents a single period. So we know at 12:20, we've got an accounting lecture. Where's the venue? In case, you know, your memory is very volatile, also write down the venues, okay? So Tuesday, 12:20, we go back and we say on Tuesday at 12:20 here, we have our accounting. This is a lecture, okay? And it's going to be in, what was the venue again? The venue is in C12. So here, then you can give yourself, write down C12. Where was the TAT? The TAT is going to be in, we've picked this one. So we say the TAT is going to be in room C10, okay? So, okay. So here we say the TAT is going to be in C10. Okay. We go back again to the timetable. Then on Tuesday, we know when it's going to be. On Wednesday, we can see there's no lecture for accounting. On Thursday, we go down on Thursday and we see, oh, okay, here we've got another lecture. Now this lecture spans between 2 blocks, okay? 2 vertical blocks. That means it covers 2 periods, okay? So it starts at 8:40, it finishes at 9:35. And this is your accounting lecture in C12. So we go on Thursday, go back Thursday, it starts at that. We're going to say, so to just make it faster, we're going to copy, we say Thursday, what time does it start? I think it starts at 8:40, if I'm not mistaken. It was a double period, so we also add there. And we go back to our timetable. Yes, we say Thursday, it starts at 8:40, and also at 9:35, the venue is C12, okay? So here we come and we say the venue is C12. The venue here is C12, okay? So you've got a double lecture there. And then what happens on Friday? We've got a 7:45. It's going to happen in C12 again. So on Friday, 7:45, we can see there, we're going to have accounting lecture, and it's going to happen in C12, okay? So as we can see, we've taken down the times for the TAT. We've chosen the block for the stream for the TAT. And in this particular case, we've chosen, we've looked at the lectures on Tuesday, no lecture on Wednesday, lecture on Thursday, lecture on Friday. I think when we come here, we look, okay, everything looks good. We go back, we have accounted for our timetable for our, for the accounting. So then we go back to our official document, into our constitution, we say, what module do we also do? We're going to do Economics 101. So then we go back again, Timetable Finder. When we look at Timetable Finder, to make it easier, I just come on E here, Economics 101. Economics 101 has got, I can see two of them, R1 and R2, okay? Dr. Jerry said that we should only choose one, because R1 and R2 are the same lectures that are repeating, and we should always only maintain one stream. So let's take randomly R2, okay? R2 for Economics 101, Monday at 8:40, we have a tutorial. That tutorial is going to be, where's the venue for the tutorial? Can somebody tell us where the venue for the tutorial on Monday is? I can't see. Not only am I colorblind, but even these letters look small. Can somebody just quickly text us and tell us where the venue is going to be for the tutorial? Yes, he's asking us. Yes, he's actually asking you. Let's see if you get it correct. Yes, NAB 114, that is your lecture. Okay, NAB stands for New Arts Building. You're going to figure that out as time goes. So NAB room 114, 8:40, Monday. So we go and say Monday. This was Econ. We say TAT again, so we don't forget. And the venue is NAB 114, okay? Okay, we scroll down. We have Monday taken down. Then we say Tuesday at 1 o'clock, we are going to be having a lecture. Remember, the black ones are the lectures. So Tuesday, we have economics. What's the venue for the economics? The economics is going to be in C12. So Tuesday at 1:15. Tuesday at 1:15, we have got our econ. Okay. Venue, I think it was C12. See. Venue, yes, C12. Wednesday, we have economics, and it's between 9 and 10 o'clock, double period. So we have C12 again, economics on Wednesday. Wednesday, here we have got econ again. So we copy that just so that we can move a little bit faster, between 9 and 10. So we've got econ there. We have the venue set up. There's our econ on Wednesday. So what about Thursday? Any econ on Thursday? Any econ on Thursday? Wednesday, we can see there's a tutorial here. Okay. Do we also take down this tutorial on Wednesday? Do we attend this tutorial on Wednesday? Question. Do we attend? I can see here, there's a tutorial there on Monday. There's also a tutorial here on Wednesday. Do we attend this tutorial? No, we don't attend the tutorial. Yes, we only do one tutorial per week. Okay. So we have selected that we're going to be doing our tutorials on Monday. Okay, so Wednesday, we ignore that tutorial. Thursday at 12:20, we have econ and C12. So this is Thursday at 12:20. We have got econ in C12. There we go. Okay. Friday, is there anything happening on a Friday? Yes, at 9:35, we've got econ. It's a lecture in C12. So on Friday, 9:35 should be here. Let me just double check. Yes, 9:35. We have a lecture here in C12. Good. So we've reached Friday. We know that we don't attend lectures on Saturday and Sunday, so we are good for economics. So we go back to the main timetable finder, and then we open our constitution, which is the handbook, and we say, okay, we're done with economics. We're done with our accounting economics. Now we go to ISTN. Okay. So ISTN 101, that's the course code. Okay. So ISTN 101, let's minimize that. Too many open screens. So we come here under I. There we go. ISTN 100, ISTN 101. There are two streams here. Again, we choose only one stream. So let's pick the first one. Okay. We'll open the PDF document there. Tuesday at 9:35, we've got a lecture. Monday, there's nothing that's going on. Tuesday, we've got a lecture at 9:35 in Ron Macmillan. Okay. So let me just do that so we can try and move faster. Tuesday, 9:35. Tuesday, 9:35 here. ISTN 101, and the venue is going to be Ron Mac. Okay. Copy that. On Wednesday, we have a double ISTN that starts at 2:10. Venue, Ron Mac again. So Wednesday, 2:10, is it? Wednesday, yes, 2:10, it's a double. So Wednesday, 2:10, it's a double. We've got ISTN in there. We've got ISTN also in there. Ron Mac again. Wednesday, okay, so we've got that down. Thursday, we have got ISTN 7:45 where? In C1. So Thursday, we've got ISTN lecture in C1. Thursday, we've got ISTN lecture at what time? At 7:45. Thursday, 7:45. There we've got ISTN 101. And at, oh, the venue is, what's the venue again? C1. So the venue is C1. Okay. Just try and get that a little bit uniform. Okay. And Friday, we have a tutorial at 10:30. So Friday at 10:30, here we've got ISTN 101. Oh, let's make sure we indicate that it's a TUT, and the venue is DSLT. So Thursday, the TUT is in DSLT. Okay. Just remove that highlighting there. Okay. So we are done with ISTN. Again, back to our constitutional document. And we have now management. Okay. So for our management 101, 102, sorry, or management 120. So let's come to our timetable finder. Let's minimize that. We are done with ISTN. We go back out. We are now interested in management, math, management 102. We pick R1 again. What does R1 look like? Okay, so the best thing that I'll tell you to do is when you reach now, let's say like the 4th module that we're doing now, what we need to do now is before we just write it in, let's look if there's any of these lectures are sitting anywhere where we have lectures. So Monday at 10:30 and 11:25, management. What's the venue? The venue is in C3. Okay. So management on Monday. Do we have anything that's taking place between 10:30 and 11? No. 10:30 there. So here we have MGNT 102. And we have the venue there. We know it's happening also, copy and paste it there. It's a double period. Then we go back and we see Tuesday, there's nothing. Wednesday, there's nothing. Thursday, there's nothing. Friday, we've got a double period at 2 o'clock. So Friday, we have a double period at 2 o'clock. 2 is here. So we have that. Let me just make sure the venue, I didn't double check the venue. Is the same venue? Yes, C3. Okay, so we are done with management because it's 2 doubles, okay? So we go back out again. We go to our handbook, college handbook, and then we look now at mathematics. So math 134. Let's now go back to our timetable finder and check for math. So here we have math, and it is math 134. Math 134, we can only see one math 134. There are actually no streams. So we go in there. Monday is at 12:20. Monday 12:20, we've got math 134. The venue C1. C1, and then next we've got Tuesday 10:30 in C12. Tuesday 10:30. Here we've got math. There, math. And also there, math. And I think it was C12. C12 is the venue. C12 is the venue. I'm just correct. Yes, C12. And then Wednesday, we've got a single period at 7:45, C12. So Wednesday, we've got our math there. Copy Wednesday, 7:45. We've got our math that we put there. And then C12, yes. Thursday, we've got it in red, which means this is a tutorial. Thursday, now you can see it spans across 1, 2, 3, 4 vertical blocks, which means it's a 4-period mathematics tutorial, which starts at 2:10. The venue is going to be, now if you look at this, there are multiple venues, okay? You've got rooms, MSB in G17, in Science Seminar 1, in New Science Seminar 2, and also in New Science Seminar 3, which means you can choose any of these 3 venues where you'd like to attend it. Basically, it's a 4-period tutorial that takes place on Thursday, and there are 4 groups that are running simultaneously. Okay, so let's choose the first one. We're going to be in MSB G17. Okay. If you go to MSB G17, you find that it's full. You quickly turn around, hit the road into New Science Seminar 1. If it's full, you turn around again, you jump into New Science Seminar 2, and so on and so forth. But normally, I think, and that's why it's important to stick to one particular tutorial group. So Thursday from 2:10. Thursday from 2:10, and 2:10 is there. We've got math we have MSB G17. Okay, so math G17. Copy that. We know that it's in that period, and that period. 3 periods, yes, done. Ladies and gentlemen, so let's go back and look. Okay, finished Thursday. Friday, we've also got a lecture at math in C12, okay, on Friday at 1 o'clock. Friday at 1 o'clock, we have math. 1, 3, 4 in C12. Okay, so we just move it a little bit faster because of time. When we go back to now, our main document, we can see that we've accounted for accounting, we've accounted for economics, we've accounted for ISN, we've accounted for management, we've accounted for math. There's nothing else that we need to do in semester 1. It's 5 modules. When we go back onto our timetable, this is what your timetable is going to look something like, okay? So let me just reduce that so we can see it. Yeah, better. So there's our timetable for Monday. We know, what our timetable looks like. And we know Monday, the first thing that I'm attending is our math tutorial in NAB. Now, let me also say this. Tutorials and practicals are always a week behind. So obviously you need to learn and then you do the tutorial. You need to learn and then do the practical. Meaning on Monday, you cannot have a tutorial of economics. Why? It's because there's nothing that you have learned yet, okay? Unless you go and answer questions on Bafana and why they missed the goals this time, they missed the penalties and so on and so forth. There's nothing else that you're going to discuss in that tutorial, economics related, okay? So please, guys, be aware of that. This week that is coming, you're not going to have any tutorials. You're not going to have any practicals. You start with the lectures first, and then tutorials and practicals are in the subsequent week. This is what your timetable looks like. Sometimes, I just quickly wanted to say this, sometimes you would have put up your economics, and then when you go and you try to put something else like maths, you find here where there is economics, when you put maths, maths comes there also, meaning it's a clash. What do? You pick the other stream, provided that it's got a stream. So what you essentially should be doing, quickly, let me come to you and just say this before I can see we're running out of time now. as I enjoyed talking to you. When we come to our timetable finder, okay, you should be able to check Maths 134. Maths 134 doesn't have a stream. So this is the first module that you should put in to your timetable. Again, you check ISTN. Does ISTN have streams? Yes. Okay, leave it first. Check, does management have streams? No, it doesn't have. Then the next module that you should put into your timetable is management. So start with the modules that don't have streams, because the modules that have streams give you an option to put it on different dates, okay, in case there are clashes that exist there. So your timetable looks like this, guys. I hope it has been a little bit helpful. I would like to quickly say I'll take 3 questions. If there are any questions that we can ask quickly, because we should stop at 12 o'clock sharp, you can actually address the questions. If you want me to send you this timetable, please send me 50 Rand. This is my personal timetable, so I can, if I am supposed to share it with you, you have to pay me. Otherwise, if you don't want to pay me, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you were listening. You need to go onto, the platforms and you make the timetable for yourself. I was just joking, guys. There are no payments. We don't take any money from students here, but I hope, it's been a little bit of help, and it's clear now how you make your timetable. No one will give you the timetable. You make the timetable for yourself, okay? Based on your modules. Remember, be familiar with your handbook. Don't listen to other people, but check the modules on your own. Are there any questions?
Yes, there are. We've got hands up. Let's take people who haven't spoken to before. There is Gabrielle. Gabrielle, go ahead.
Hello?
Hello.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. This isn't a question pertaining to the timetable. However, it's about mentorship. I applied on Monday for a mentor, and I know that you are saying to be patient, but I think it's consistent with all of the students that we haven't been assigned a mentor or we haven't been added to a group. So I just wanted to know when that will happen.
Okay, can I answer that? Okay, so students, all of you who haven't been assigned a mentor, can you please just send me an email now? I've been responding to students' queries just now related to mentors, and then we can address that. Because I do have a list, and then maybe if your mentor has not contacted you, then I can follow up with the mentor. So send me an email, and I will address it right now. So the few of you who have been sending me emails, I've already started working on that. But like I said, for this week, we only received the list yesterday. We did not receive a list on Monday. We only received the list yesterday. So you also know it's like we are dealing with a lot of students. Right now, as of yesterday, there were about 900 students registered. And we are trying to allocate mentors to all of you. It also does take time. So just send me an email and then we will address it immediately.
Okay,
I hope that answers the issue of mentors. I have typed my email address in the chat. Please just send me an email. All right. Yes, Bongeka, I see Bongeka's hand is up. She's one of our FYE coordinators. She can also maybe provide more details, Bongeka. Okay, Bongeka. So students, you don't apply for a mentor. Once we have your name, once you are registered, we will definitely get your details and we will allocate you a mentor. So you do not have to apply. There's no application. It's a process that we follow automatically once we get the list of registered students. Bongeka, I see your hand is up. You can open your mic. Okay, how will the mentor contact us? So we are using 3 methods so far. In your application, you provided a number, Some of you, that number belongs to your parents. That could be an issue. So in the application form, you provided a number. So we're using those numbers. We are also using, if you're a registered student, we are also using your UKZN email address. So you need to check the number that you provided or the UKZN email address. Okay. Will it be a call or SMS? They'll probably send you an email and they'll send you an SMS. Okay, there's someone who is asking about international students being registered. You know, there's a process that you have to follow if you're an international student for you to be cleared. So the first point of call is you need to contact the international office. They will give you details of what you need to provide them with for them to clear you. Your fee clearance will only happen after you have been cleared by the international office. So if you have not contacted them, I would advise that you do so. Their details are available on the website. And if you are not sure, please send me an email and then I'll refer you to the international office.
Prof. Anna, maybe let's take one or two questions live. One question live because we need to close at 12. So, Chrisan, let's see if we can allow you to talk. We'll just take one. And students, please don't be afraid. This session will be available on our website, the college website, so that you can recap. Okay, it looks like we don't have Chrisan. I think Prof. Anna and Dr. J, you can sum up so that we can close and just to remind students about tomorrow's session, which will help them cope with the workload at the university.
All right, so I think since we do not have time, we will maybe postpone our prize giving. We'll do tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll give more prizes because we have run out of time today. And in conclusion, I just want to, I know. We will try and, you know, give more prizes tomorrow. Or maybe let me just ask one question. Dr. Jera, do you have a question to ask? Maybe we could just give one for today and then we'll do the rest tomorrow. Just 1 minute and then ask a question. I see students are crying for the prizes here.
I think my question that I would like to ask today is what do we call the site where we find all of the modules that are taught in the semester? Okay. What is the name of the site where we find all of the modules that are taught in the semester? You need to get it right.
Dr. Jere, you can check in the chat session and then identify the winner.
Okay, I'm trying to see here. In the chat, quickly, do we have an answer? Moodle, Learn, no. Learn 24, Moodle, no. Timetable Finder, Jade. You are the first person to get it correct.
I think for today, we will just give that one prize. Remember, our prize is a gift, is a book voucher worth 1,000 rands. And students are asking when they will get them. You will get your book vouchers when you get to campus. Right, so from next week, you will be able to get. Tomorrow, we have a few more prizes to give. And please do attend tomorrow's session. Like what Ms. Langer has said, it's an important session. It's a session that will help you, provide you with tips, you know, on how to cope with some of the challenges that are expected of a university student. Thank you all for coming in your numbers, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow on our last day of orientation. And remember, this is not the end of the support that we will be offering you. We are going to have weekly sessions as well with the FYE coordinators and mentors on a weekly basis from next week, every Wednesday, up to the end of the year. There are so many other topics that we need to cover, things like bullying, what happens if you're being bullied, gender-based violence, setting goals for success, not taking, so many other topics, financial literacy management, like I have said, as well as the critical social justice module. So thank you all for coming. Thank you, Ms. Langer, for hosting us. Dr. Jere, thank you for facilitating. Our colleagues from ICS, our FYE team, Ms. Prim Naidu, I just want to thank all of you for your patience and the time that you have taken to support our students. And for you students, thank you for being good listeners.